Problem 18. $20,000 is invested at 5% interest compounded monthly using the formula A equals P parenthesis 1 plus R over N parenthesis to the NT. Determine how much the investment is worth after 4 years. So you must be familiar with the formula, given formula. So and then the question is just to evaluate the right side of the formula using the given quantities. So, so, um, so we just need to identify which quantity is for which variable, and then plug in those quantities into the formula, and then evaluate the resulting expression. So, to identify which quantity goes to which variable, first let's list all the variables that appear in the formula. So A, P, R, T, N. So what does A represent? A represent the balance. So at the end of the period of the investment, that is A, and P represent the invested money, that is right, invested money. And R represent the interest rate, and T is the time period for which the money was invested, and N is the number of times the interest is compounded a year. So that is, yes, this is the number of times the interest is compounded a year. So what are these values? So balance, that is the unknown quantity of the problem. We are finding the balance after 4 years of the investment. And then the invested money, P, is given here. So $20,000 is invested. And the interest rate is 5%. But when you use a percent in a formula, you have to always change it. We have to always convert it to a decimal number. So 0.05. So 5% is equivalent to 0.05. So we'll use this number instead of 5. And the time period is what? Is 4 years here. 4 years. And the number of times the interest is compounded a year is here, right? So the money is invested at 5% interest compounded monthly. So that means the interest is compounded 12 times a year. So N is 12. So now we identified all the variables and the quantities. So A is So we plug in these numbers into the formula. So P is 20,000 times 1 plus R over N. R is 0.05. We are not going to use this number in the formula. And N is 12. And raise this to N times T. So N is 12. T is 4. So we have this expression. And we just need to evaluate this expression using a calculator. So turn on the calculator and put these numbers in 20,000 times parenthesis 1 plus 0.05 divided by 12 parenthesis and raise it to parenthesis 12 times 4. This is it, right? And enter. So we get $24,417 and a little bit more. So this equals 24,417. So and there are some more. So 24,417.9071. 9071. Right? So how do you write your answer? Now this is a kind of word problem, right? So you should not forget the unit. So your answer will be 24,417.9071 dollars. So that is your answer.